to What the Block, and in this episode we're talking about filter block. Here's the premise. We have a table that's driving this data grid, giving us some data. We have a search box. There's currently no functionality behind. It's just a text input component. And we have our data source, which is list node block, which simply lists all the nodes under a specific path in our data tree. So this is the table we're working with. We're displaying name, type, and path. So name, type, and here's type and path from the table. And we want to add as you type filtering to this whole setup. So let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, we need a filter block. There you go. So, and the input for the block would obviously be our data table. Now we need condition. Now we need to figure out if we're filtering just on one column, right? Or we want to filter across combination of columns. If we filter on one column, and we're going to look at that first, which is name, then we just go ahead with a as is. So we need condition. We can't just type condition in because some of it will be dynamic. It would come from our text input. So we're going to use replace block to create condition, where we're going to replace a placeholder with actual typed in search value. So condition will be as follows. Our column name that we're filtering, name, I'm going to convert that to lowercase so that our search query becomes non-case sensitive. Right? We're going to check for existence of a certain character sequence inside our name, and I use a placeholder for that sequence. Right? We're going to convert the placeholder to lowercase as well, so that I'm comparing lowercase to lowercase, no matter how you type it in. Right? And then final condition, more than -1, meaning the first index of such a sequence in our name is at least 0, so meaning there's at least one index. Okay, that should be enough. We're going to apply that, and we're going to replace, of course, our placeholder, just search, with our text input value, like so. Right? And bind the output of the replace block into the condition of the filter block, and that gives us right now all the results that we had, because there's nothing typed in here, and nothing occurs more than once in any value. Okay, so we're going to bind the result of this filter block into our table input for the data grid. And I'm going to switch to preview and hit it again to still see all the editors and start typing. So for example, if I want to search for a set point, I'm going to type STPT, and you can see that it immediately filters the list for all the names that contain characters STPT in that sequence in the name. Right? So on the fly. Second scenario, let's say we want to simultaneously search across all 3 columns, right? So this will no longer be adequate because we can only mention one column. Now we could create this expression to be more complex and add more clauses that checks for other columns. However, what I prefer to do is use column mapping block to create a search column which consists of whatever column we want. So we're going to retain all the existing ones plus create a new one called search, and it's going to be equal to name, then separator, then path, then separator. Oops. Wrong quote here. There you go. Plus type, like so. So basically, if we look at it, so we have our original table plus one more column, search, which contains values from the 3 columns that we want to search, separated by the underscore, just so that there's no sequence of characters that happens by accident when one value kind of directly connects to the other one. All right, and this will go into our filter box, and in the expression, we change our name column reference to search column reference, right? Because we named our new column search. Now we should be able to search for any of those columns. For example, if I type a number you can see that immediately all the types that are number are brought in. Right? That's all there is to it. Now you know.